Hello guys, good evening. Let's start our discussion for this evening. So our lesson for tonight is about one-way ANOVA. So our objectives for this evening are as follows. Number one, to discuss the importance of comparing two or more groups. Number two, to value the importance of comparing two or more groups. And number three, understand the basic concepts of comparing two or more groups. So when you speak about ANOVA, this is the shortcut for analysis of variance. Okay, so analysis of variance is a technique that can be used to compare means of two or more samples. So this technique can be used only for numerical response data, and it also tests the null hypothesis. So which states that samples in all groups are drawn from populations with the same mean values. So to do this, we have to estimates are made of population variances, and it is used for differences among these three groups. So for two or more groups, we use ANOVA for testing the getting the variances of interaction of among the groups. Using SPSS, it is interpreted and reported as the result of that test. So since one-way ANOVA is often followed up with post-hoc test, post-hoc test is a post-test wherein you're going to continue testing the variability of the variables. So we also show you how to carry on out. I don't know if you can still use post-hoc later on. So maybe that is another topic, no? So for one-way ANOVA, we have assumptions. Assumptions being that, like for example, for t-test last time, we used variability for null hypothesis for testing the null hypothesis. So, but the results of one-way ANOVA can be considered reliable as long as the following assumptions are met. So the first one is the response variable residuals are normally distributed, meaning to say there's the comparison for different variables has a minimal co-term for existence, like we have approximately normally distributed value. So meaning to say if this bell shape that be considered just last time, ang distances of the two variables is normally discharged, or meaning to say waay sanda nagarayuanay. So number two, variances of populations are equal. And number three, the responses for a given group are independent and identically distributed normal random sample variables. So it means that not a simple random sample, but for our that is a term what we call SRS. So for Excel, guys, I think later on we'll have a demo for one-way ANOVA that we're going to have at the same time using SPSS. So make sure that you have your data analysis button that you can find on data tab. For our activity number 17, you're going to compute a one-way ANOVA with statistical value, and you're going to do this in Excel at the same time in SPSS. Okay, so I think that is all for this evening. The rest of it for the detailed ANOVA, you can just vary more on, compare it more on the on the online references or the links that is being put there in your module. Okay, just because we did that, I think we have to have a demonstration of for one-way ANOVA. So basically, guys, let me share to you my screen again. Okay, so I think we have to start from the very beginning. So okay. So by doing this, I think we're going to start with Excel first. Okay, so for Excel, we're going to have three variable types. Okay, so like for example, we're going to consider A, B, and C. Okay, so it's three variables. So please think of values from 75 to 100. So I think we're going to have 10. Okay, 76. Let me reiterate the values that is being put here. Okay, so all of the value here are random, and I think we're going to utilize an item lang item so that we can finish right away the testing. Okay. So this is a meager sample that is being put in our table. So guys, I think this is only good for, you can also do 4 variables, no? Pero let's try and I get 3 values lang anay so that we have a simpler terms or simpler value. Okay, what will happen is there will be instances wherein the values are being distributed in such a way that you can compute for t-value. So remember, why we need to test in ANOVA or in the analysis of variance. It's because when you cannot test 3 values in t-test. So for t-test, you only use 2 values or 2 variables. So the values within 2 variables that is being done, if ever you have another value which you're going to utilize, meaning to say it's more than 2. So you can do this 2, 3, 4, or more than 2. Basta more than 2. So you need to use analysis of variance instead of t-test. Okay, so I think we have a good amount of values that is being put here in our screen. So and go to data. Okay, so and then for data, for data analysis tool, you have to click the data analysis tool again and look for ANOVA single factor. Okay, so ANOVA that is Oneway ANOVA, ANOVA which uses single factor, and afterwards you press OK. Then from putting up the OK button, you're going to highlight the values, and then you have to specify if it is columns or rows. So I think we use columns na lang. And then the alpha is the given, which is 0.5. 0.5 is the degree of freedom that is being put into consideration. Okay, because guys, that is testing 95% probability. So meaning to say, 95% probability is the standard for all testing. Regardless, may exception siya. The exception being is medical field, wherein ang margin of error is being minimized. So after doing this, you have to click OK. Then in sheet number 2, sheet number 1 ang data naton. So sheet number 2 siya makadto ang scores. So what we're going to do is to okay, so this is the given already, and the critical value is 3 point something. You can see here the variances, the averages, and the sum. So why isang nagawag yung anay, guys? And then the total score. So the degree of freedom is 29, being 2 plus 20, within group is 2, and 27, between groups is 2, so that is 29. And then the value will be 3.354. So lantaw natin karon, guys, if that is true sa SPSS. So for our SPSS naman, you have to type SPSS here. SPSS. Okay, so click OK. So remember to preserve the data on our first sheet. The same data will be used sa ikaduha naton nga sample using the statistical value for SPSS. But the first things first for SPSS, you go to variable view anay, and then look at variable. So ABC lang anay, no? Pareho ka ginhimo naton kagina or ang okay, so I think C siya, sorry, C and B. Okay, and again, guys, the measure will be scale. Okay, so take note of the measurement. Then afterwards, that's the time that we're going to place the value sa ABC na to na columns. So the data that we're going to put there is ang data sa sheet number 1. What we're going to do is to copy paste this. So copy lang guys, and then paste this here. Then after pasting, you go to analyze. Then pangitaon na to niya Oneway ANOVA. So go to analyze, and then compare means, and then go to Oneway ANOVA. So after going to hindi kamo lang ana guys magbutang ka factor, no? So later lang ng factor. So tanan sanda, highlight this and place it here. And then may post-hoc test pa siya karon kung maano ninyo. So actually the factor for this is let's try anay sa option sa contrast, no, kung may dayan polynomial. Okay, so post-hoc test y. Okay, so option sabi. Okay. Dependent list kag ang independent list kay usually sa ANOVA may factor siya. So we're going to compare this using C. So try natin abi ang C anay una factor, no. So kung after this pwede nyo man siya ano, then press OK. So after pressing this Oneway A and B by C, or the missing analysis, let's try kung pareho siya. I don't know if it will result to the same content. So copy natin siguro. Basta lain siya ang value niya. Within groups, mean. Okay, I think hindi siya pareho. Siguro single factor ng ANOVA. Okay. Let's try another method kung hindi siya magparehas. So I think there seems to be a problem sa, okay, wait lang. Okay, okay. So i-try nyo man abi ang isa ka value. Okay, I think ang lain ang sa measurements. I don't know if this is ano Oneway ata. Okay. Okay, may single factor siya, no. Pero I think Oneway, hindi siya Oneway. Single factor first. Okay. Okay. And then the last one will be ang sa Piakabe. Try nyo. Okay, Oneway analysis of variance, Oneway ANOVA. Or ang letter B, Y natin guys, mapasulod, no? Okay. So B, A, and C na analysis, naka ano naman di. May mga degrees of freedom man kag ano. So gina-compare nyo sa guys na using the independent sample means. Ang ginhimo naton sa first dia is ang single factor lang gyud nga within sa groups. Meaning to say ang kabilugan. Ang ginhimo naton dia sa SPSS guys is the Oneway ANOVA using different tree values. So it's either of the two, no? Two methods. If I'm not mistaken, ang sa first, try nato na basta nagsala lang gid ko. So one factor with replication abi, try nato to single factor siya. So I think hindi mo daya yan ang sabat na. For example, hindi siya. Single factor lang gid. Okay. Single factor. So I think ang accurate siguro nga reading naton will be ang testing naton sa dang ano guys. So within sa single factor ang sa Excel. Kay ang kinalain kadua ang sa single factor sa Oneway nag-compare kita di ka isa ka independent sample. Okay lang gid. What we're going to do is to test it the way we did sa ANOVA, ang sa SPSS. At the same time, kung ano yung ginimo natin sa Excel, just follow the procedure lang. Okay? So, amo lang da siguro guys, ya, ano natin. Pero ang accurate gid nga ano nga sa analysis is ang sa Excel natin ginimo. Ang ginimo natin sa may SPSS, gin-cross natin siya per value. So tatlo ka variable, gin-cross. May isa ka independent samples. Pero more or less, pareho lang dagyapon guys yung value niya. Why lang nagsanto? Okay, wala agin tingob. Ang ginimo lang natin is yung tingob ang sa Excel. Ang individual scores nga makita ninyo within sa SPSS. Okay? So, I think amo dayad ang ano natin, no? Explanation sa dang duwa natin sa samples. Do you have any questions regarding our activity for tonight and the topic? Okay, just follow guys the procedure, especially sa Excel ninyo. Don't go yet unless you what's this, you put your attendance sa chat box natin. Don't worry guys, before you left guys, please put your names on our chat box. Hindi nyo paglipatan. I'm not going to I'm not going to what's this gonna? I'm not going to hold you for a little longer. What I meant is, please, if you don't have any questions, you can put your attendance already on our chat box. Okay, so thank you guys for attending our online class for this evening, and I hope that you catch up with what we did. If you are reluctant of the activity, what we're going to do is to go back again for the video and watch the samples or what we did step by step, and then please follow the So upload your content in our Google Classroom. Please sa Google Classroom natin, so that I can check it and give you your grades right away. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you guys before you left, and thank you for attending, and see you next session next week. Okay, so shout out guys sa tanan kaninyo dyan before you you leave. So thank you. If you have any questions, you may ask your questions or put it on your chat box na.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Aaron. Good evening. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sent. Good evening. Don't forget to put your attendance na.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Randel.
Where's Leo, sir?
Din si Leo.
Subo ka din, may dito na.
Oo, why do mega kinulit?
Thanks, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, condolence to the Arellano family, ha? Thank you, good guys. Okay. Okay, so thank you guys, ha? Good evening sa tanan. If you have any problems, please PM me. By the way, I'm sorry to say, nahimo ko dun yung set B sa naton. Ang waay pa ka buol ka exam, tingbon tagid anay kamo guys, no? Pasiktuhon pa mo anay kung tanan kamo anay tanan gid kamo mabuol daad, hindi pwede nga tag isa-isa tag duwa lang. Kay nag set B. So nahuman ko dun kagina, Randel, good news. Nahuman ko dun yung set B. Daad mas schedule kita, pero reluctant ako magtao kaninyo. Hay dang dapat tingob kamo kamong classmate nyo. So i-check ko anay gid ang way ko pa ma-record abi ang nagbuol doon. Pero ang nakabuol doon i-record ko anong scores da kag tanan ka mo inform ta ka mo ay pa nakabuol. Okay?
Okay,
So
sir.
most probably kung may time kita Friday base mga Friday or alam lang base hindi madayon ano to lang kamo guys. Pero natapos ko doon kagina. Napungkuan ko doon sa set B. Indit gawat mahapos no. Budlay magimo exam. Pero sige lang. Dapat mabuol ka mo gid ang way pa nakabuol lang. So thank you and good evening. Inform talaga mo sa GP guys kung ano. Most probably Friday siguro base lang. Hindi pa madala sigurado yun. Kay pasiktuhon ta pa kamo tanan tawagan isa-isa kung mabuol ka mo kay exam kung hindi. Okay, sige. Thank you and good evening lang. Okay, good evening guys. Thank you. Okay, sige. Ano ko doon ha?